Welcome to season 4 of the Unqualified Film Bros podcast. We missed you guys last week. I missed you two last week a whole heck of a lot. We are back. We're talking about a new release for the first time in what feels like forever. So let's get into it. The
That's for
Killer's
that
Game,
one.
our fourth season. Benjamin, Max, what do you guys think?
Well, first of all, what was the last new release that we did?
Probably like Deadpool.
Um,
Was it Deadpool?
it was not Deadpool because we've at least done Trap since then.
Oh, maybe we did like the Instigators too or something.
Wait,
Um,
I can't even remember. Oh
I'm
my
pulling
god.
up my letter. Alien Romulus.
Alien Romulus,
Ah,
yeah.
that was a good one. Okay. All right.
No,
Okay.
I mean it's been
It's a
It's
matter of different opinions for
weeks.
whether or not that was a good one.
it feels like it's been a while for sure.
It has been a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, okay, the movie, right? Dave Bautista continues to sort of thrive in his post wrestling career. I mean, I think he always looks like he's having fun with whatever role he's doing. I think he does a pretty solid job here, you know. I mean, I think overall it was a little I don't know, it wasn't a great film, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, I thought it was, a fine film. It's not like the worst film. But I thought it was like weird. It was entertaining at times, but I just didn't get the vibe. Like there were times where it's so serious when he's dying and stuff. And then they like cut to fucking what's his name? Goyang, and he's just like singing the karaoke, smoking a cigarette. I mean, it's just a little jarring for me. And then my other really big criticism is there is a when she hires all of the hitmen, there's like 10 minutes of introductions for all of them.
Oh my
No,
God, yeah.
I was like,
It happens twice.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it happened once, and I was like, okay, all right, that's fine, so whatever. And then it happened again, but this
With
time it was
more.
longer. And it was like, what? There's probably at least 15 or 20 minutes of pure introductions for Hitmen in a movie that's not that long. I disagree with that choice.
That's fair. That's fair.
it, it felt like Bullet Train, when they just kept introducing people. It's like, all right, we get it.
Yes, but Bullet Train at least had the decency to do most of their characters in the first act. This movie's
That's
introducing
true. It gets
major
them all out of the
characters
way.
halfway through the second act.
Yeah, it's a little pacing is a little off. But yeah, I thought it was fine. I mean, the action was pretty good. I don't like seeing CGI blood still, but like mainly this movie, it was very CGI. Um,
I feel like that's been an issue. Like at times it felt like almost like a Matthew Vaughn movie with
yeah,
the
that's what I was reminded of. It's like
with
it's so CGI that
Mhm.
I can't take it seriously almost. I love gore. I'm a horror guy, but I want to see something that looks somewhat real. I thought the point of CGI was so that it looked kind of real, but this looks terrible. I gotta be honest.
yeah, that was
When he
a
cuts his neck originally, you could tell even like the effects for the neck and everything are CGI. You could do probably a cheaper, better job with practical effects. I know it's harder, not that much harder.
in the interest of quality, you'd think that they'd want to do it.
Yeah, but it's just this. That's what everyone does these days. At least a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that you guys are right on the money with this being an okay action comedy. There's nothing truly remarkable about it. Um, Max, I agree with what you said about Bautista compared with other wrestlers turned actors. I saw a great line many months ago talking about three of the most prominent wrestlers turned actors working in the industry today. And it said that Dave Bautista gives vulnerable and almost and really substantive performances. They're nuanced, and he's a very, very talented actor. John Cena has sort of hit on where he fits in this niche of comedy in a way that a lot of actors never achieve that are trained to do comedy or have studied or worked on their own craft to do comedy. And The
Yeah,
Rock, and The Rock is technically an actor.
The Rock is terrible. John Cena's great. Dave Bautista is a real actor. And I would
Yes.
say that this movie does not really display his acting prowess.
Not.
No.
And I think that there were chances for vulnerability, especially in his scenes.
And
Uh,
there are times where he does achieve it. It's more just like there is so much happening in the background. How can you pay attention to that? I feel like there's moments with like Ben Kingsley where it's like very serious and stuff, and then it just cuts to something absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, like the wedding scene at the end. Like, I'm sorry, I'm skipping around, but like the wedding scene at the end when they're
Yeah, no,
about to
no,
get married and the
seriously.
priest gets shot. Like,
Ah!
what the hell was that? Either let them get married, then like just let it
It's
happen, or don't, or like don't even bring it up.
I like blending genres, but this is less of a blend and more of like a saute. I don't know.
So,
Like that they're both full in their own way, but they don't mix well together. It's a bad saute, I should say that. Sauteing like something sweet and something I don't know.
it was, it was
I
sweet,
don't know.
sweet with the romance and savory with the action, and sweet and savory did not mix well here.
Yeah, yeah, no. It was just like there were scenes where I felt like it was really enjoyable, but then there were scenes right after it that made it less enjoyable.
Yeah, I think when you get a film that is so clearly an action comedy at its core, but then tries to do major tonal shifts like this one does, and has significant pacing issues where those tonal shifts are made even more jarring. I think it just it detracts from the overall experience because you're not getting the full action comedy and you're not getting the full weight of each
Yeah.
tonal.
Also, this movie reminded me of what was it? Funny People, a comedy about the guy that was diagnosed with cancer and then was not diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
It's like serious and comedic, but it's also jarbled with all the action. It's like I feel like you probably should have stuck to just one thing. And there's too many moments of like very serious introspection that don't really fit in a movie like this.
Yeah, and I think another flaw that I could take away from this is that it takes a little too long to get to its core sort of
That's
plot
very
point
true. That's very true. It takes him a while to start dying or
because
start
like
believing he's gonna die.
it starts the exact same way pretty much every action comedy today starts with the hero doing the job in a big set piece, and then oh, he meets the love interest, and then oh, the love interest is involved in some bigger thing that he's going to have to get involved in, and
To be fair,
we're
she's not involved in anything. She's just a
no,
dancer.
she's not involved in anything here at the beginning per
He
se.
involved her though. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. um and it follows this sort of cliched opening to the point where we know what this movie's going to be about. We know that Joe is going to get diagnosed with this short-term terminal illness, and then he's
Also,
going to
they
find
ruin
out.
it in the trailer. It's like, oh, he's gonna die. Oh wait, no, he's not. It's like,
Well, I mean, are you going to save the reveal that no, he's not actually dying for the actual movie, or are you going to make that the crux of why people go to see it so that he can take out all these people he's ordered to hit on himself with?
yeah, no, I got it. It's fair. It's just, I don't know. There were questionable choices for my in my opinion for the movie.
Yeah, and just back to the pacing, because it takes 20, 30 minutes to get to when he's
Going,
undiagnosed, we'll say, even
yeah.
longer. It might
I
even
guess
be,
that's why I brought it up in the trailer. It's like because you see that in the trailer, and then it takes you about 1/3 of the movie because it's about an hour and a half, right?
this is the
To get to that.
first movie we've done in a long time where I didn't see a single trailer for it.
I saw
Yeah, I actually
decent.
didn't see a trailer for this one.
Man, maybe my theater's really trying to push this movie, or was.
I also never saw a trailer for Speak No Evil. I don't know about you guys.
I saw that all the time.
No, it was playing all the time. That's just the joke that's been on Twitter all month.
I know, but you can't do it like.
I know it's better on Twitter. Anyway, yeah, I didn't see a trailer for this, but I knew what it was going to be about, and then you take 25 minutes or so to get to the point where he's diagnosed, and then another 20 minutes before he's undiagnosed, and then you got all of this second wave of hitmen being introduced. You're not getting to the core idea of this movie where he's fighting off people who are carrying out a hit on him. That he
It
has,
reminded me of John Wick 3, but with way more baggage and a lot less action.
Yeah.
that's a decent comp.
Because at the end, like John Wick 3 starts with him just being hunted down by everyone. I think that's the one.
Yeah,
2 is
Mhm.
when he kills the guy and then he's like excommunicado.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, like I love the idea. I just think they tried to stuff too much stuff in there that you don't need. You don't even need a love interest. Who cares? If you want to be an action comedy, be an action comedy. If there's a love interest on the side, that's fine. But I didn't know whether it wanted to be a romance movie, an action movie, introspective like drama, comedy. It's just
I
too,
think,
you know.
and like I've seen Sophia Butella, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, many times in other films. Well, not many times, but I've seen her in other films, and she's asked to do a lot more here than anything that I've seen her in before. And I think she does a pretty good job with what she's given.
I'd say both her and Dave Bautista do a great job. It's
And
just
they've
that
got
they're not
good
past
chemistry.
like expand their character past a certain point.
Right.
I also think she was a trained dancer, so it was fun to see that sort of showcased
That's
at
always
the in
good.
the beginning. Yeah.
I love to see people get to use their
Like that's
hobbies.
why it looked good.
Yeah.
Her dancing looked good, and Dave Bautista fighting people looks good because they're both playing to their strengths here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Bautista looks like a guy that can just push people over, and in this movie he does. And it's believable because he can do that.
Yeah, I saw an interview. He's like 6'4", 225 or something. Like he's a big dude.
225? Man,
He
honestly
was
looks
well
weird.
for Knock at
He's
the
up
Cabin,
something.
he went up to like 300. He was at like 305. He bulked up for that role and cut everything down. But he looks really skinny now. But he's like I'm still 6'4",
Oh,
225,
when
230.
the skinny picture,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That does make sense. Yeah, he's a lot bigger than most people, but
Yeah.
he's much skinnier than he
Yeah.
was. But yeah,
Maybe
I love him. I
he'll
just
get
don't think this movie.
he'll get to expand his role base and what he will be cast as instead of
Yeah,
sort of bigger
that's
fighting
actually
to
that's what I was thinking. Is
sort
like,
of just a guy.
yeah, he wants to be someone that's an actor rather than just cast as like the heavyweight whatever,
Mhm.
or typecast of being big guys. Which, to be fair,
Because even like Knock at
he
the
is.
Cabin or like Glass Onion, part of his character is
Yeah,
big guy.
fitness. Yeah. And
You know,
yeah,
whether that's
it's really
physically
tough. It's tough not to be typecast like that when you are literally looking like Dave Bautista and a giant. So yeah, I'm interested to see what he does.
Yeah.
yeah. What do you guys think of Ben Kingsley here?
He's great. He's always good. He's not
It's
asked
Ben
to do very
Kingsley.
much.
Yeah.
He's Ben Kingsley. Apparently he's Jewish in this. I think Ben Kingsley.
I didn't get that until the third act.
Is he Jew? I don't know that Ben
He,
Kingsley is Jewish.
I don't know who is.
I mean, he could be.
He very well could be. Um,
I'm open to it. I'm open to the possibility.
he's saying some Yiddish words in this movie. I don't
Yeah.
know why they decided to make him Jewish. That's it. I mean, sure. It's just the way that they like announced it. It's like, oh, you're working with the rabbi, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize he was Jewish.
He is not.
Ben
He's not
Kingsley's not
Jewish.
Jewish.
No.
Okay,
Max, while you're looking up facts about celebrities,
Okay.
can you
interesting.
check what Josh Brolin's blood type is?
Oh my gosh. No, I don't think we're ever gonna find that one out.
We have to find that out. This has been
Vic-
more than 2
Victory is
years.
still pending.
Victory is still pending. I
Sometimes-
hosted my Princess Bride episode 2 years ago.
And also, the longer this goes on between us figuring out the actual answer to this question, the more impressive my victory will become with each
Yeah.
passing second.
That's very true.
Can't wait
If
to
I'm
have
right.
Michael, friend of the pod, announce it. Speaking of the sort of, I don't want to call Ben Kingsley's character here on the same tier as Ian McShane in John Wick, but we got another sort of hitman, organizer, fixer person in Palm Clementieff,
Oh yeah,
who is just like, I love her in her role as Mantis in the MCU. She's fantastic in Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. She's downright bad in this movie.
yeah. I feel like her character was not written well. They wrote her lines like, "Go wash your ass. I'll be there in a minute." I mean, what are you supposed to do with that? Go wash your ass. I'll be there in a minute. I mean, what do you, there's nothing you can do with that. It's not
A
her
lot
fault.
of the script was really bad though. Like a lot of
I'm-
Bautista's lines were
I'm getting
terrible.
wet thinking about like putting a hit on you or whatever. I mean, who wrote this? I want to check his email. I want to check his computer. Um, I think preemptively, maybe just send it to the FBI. I'm concerned. Who writes who writes lines like that?
Those are those were insane lines.
Those were absolutely psychotic lines, and it had no premise. There's just no purpose. Like,
Yeah. Even Terry Crews had like crazy lines, but
Terry Crews,
nothing approached anything like
no,
those.
no. Terry Crews was just
I've
like,
seen him in a lot of movies. I've seen him in a lot of TV shows. This feels like the most like stereotyped aggressive character that he's ever played.
yeah, it's literally black exploitation, but not directed by a black man, so it
Right.
feels weird. I'll give
I
Quentin
did,
Tarantino a
I
pass.
did like the dynamic with the fixer's cousin. I thought that they had some fun moments.
Oh, you know what? I think I had
There was-
fun for about 5 minutes, and then I was like, "Oh God, he's just like everyone else in the entire British Isles," and it wasn't good. Oi, bruv!
Out of the car. If you
I
just
let
made-
a car. You know, she hit me with a branch.
It's bad.
It was not good. The other egregious thing that happened very early on was when he was texting the girl, I forget her name.
Maisie.
Maisie, yeah, that's it. He's texting Maisie and he's like, "Sup, girl," and he keeps doing all this stuff,
You
and
know,
he's saying it out loud, and I was just like, "This is very strange. This is very strange."
No, I thought it was funny.
It was very
What?
almost down to earth relatable for him to be like nervous about what his opening line was going to be.
That's fine, but the problem that I had was that his character is not relatable, and he's like this uptight guy. I don't know. Maybe it's pet peeve.
But he's not as, say, cool and meticulous as some other hitmen in other movies are.
No,
He's
Yeah.
more,
he's like brute force.
Yeah.
yeah.
Even like even though he has the whole thing is he has such a clean record, like it's still like he's like pushing through people basically.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. I have
So
nothing else to say.
before we wrap up, in the spirit of some of the other action movies that we've done, John Wick, Monkey Man, Beekeeper, I gotta ask, favorite kill
In
Favorite
this one or
kill?
in all of them?
in this one, Max? Come on.
I don't you mentioned like 5 other movies. I don't know
Because
if
we've done this question in all the other action movies we've talked about.
My favorite kill is probably when he kills Goring, whatever his name is.
Oh, he's got the
Um,
blade in his head and gets a cigarette.
yeah, and then he lights the cigarette for him. And it's like, see you what, or go well, Goyang.
like
I don't know,
Be
whatever.
Well or something, yeah.
Be well, whatever.
I'm gonna go in the same scene, but before it's the first one with the glass, like in the neck. I just
Oh,
remember having a reaction to that because it just happened, and I was like, "Whoa,
you know what?
I'm in the movie now."
I would have liked that a lot more if I didn't see the obvious CGI terror.
Yeah,
It's just, it was too bad. It was
it
too
was
bad. They
bad,
have the power
but
to
like,
do better CGI than that.
but
I mean,
I
bad
still,
CGI at that
it
point
still
was
happened.
among the
Yeah,
worst.
well, I mean, there were a lot of things. Like
Yeah.
when they cut the balls of that dude,
Ooh.
I I winced.
Yeah.
I was in pain.
I like that.
Yeah.
I yeah.
My favorite kill was in the Home Alone Skyfall type castle set piece at the end. The first of the two Scotsmen to die,
Oh, the horn.
Mm.
held on the bullhorn, because when he's walking through the house and he sees all of the knives and he sees the bullhorns, obviously as an audience member we're going, yeah, those are going to come into play when all of these assassins come to this house, and he's going to use those. But then just the way that that Scotsman is just launched into the bullhorns,
I thought, yeah, that was a good kill.
it was a very satisfying, very clean, very fun kill.
On that guy though, I feel like I have to mention, I don't know why they felt the need to include a he shat himself joke.
And they
Yeah.
held on that for a
And
minute.
they held on it and they kept going. And I was like, what is this? 2000s Austin Power? I mean, come on, man. That's I'm not 5 years old.
Some audience member somewhere probably found that funny, but not us.
Sure, but hopefully not the broad audience members. Hopefully that's not the audience they were trying to get.
I would hope Dave Bautista would have better sense than that.
That's my point. It's like
It
seeing
was
Dave
fun
Bautista be like, I want to be considered a real actor. And then he has to say the line, what's that smell?
and have that answered with he shot himself.
It's not answered, but
We,
it's
we know.
answered before. Yeah, we know because they felt the need to include that. Just,
It it was fun to see him and Palm Clemente in different roles opposite each other. It's just a shame that they were each written not so well.
yeah, it's whatever. Writing failed. Premise kind of okay. Movie's okay. Not great.
Yeah, good action, some fun kills. it doesn't stick around too long. Yet, like, yes, it is paced really badly, but it's not like it's really badly paced and goes 2:15.
Yeah.
No,
It's an hour, which
it
for
did
an act,
feel like that, it felt too long.
that's just because we spent way too much time meeting all of the assassins that we're gonna right away.
When fucking Botas showed up, I was like, oh my god, there's another one. Who is this fucking guy?
And then his was the slowest because he had to fucking dance all the way
Yeah,
up
he's
to
got a
the
dance. He's doing a.
I don't know. Death by Spurs was pretty cool.
It was, but it took too long to get there.
Yeah, but it's also CGI. Like, if it was fucking practical, I would have enjoyed it more.
All right, that's pretty much all we can say about the Killers game. Welcome to season 4. We got a lot of fun stuff planned for the next year. We are so glad to be back. Next week, we will be heading into the world of animation once again, heading into the world of the Autobots and Decepticons once again. We're talking about Transformers 1.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Good. Everyone's excited.
All right. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Good night.
Yep.